So my go-tos for a long time have been Boca and Risewell. I knew the founder of Boca. He's moved on. He sold the company to another company, and it looks like they're keeping on with the same formula. And I don't like their new whitening toothpaste, but that's just another discussion. Risewell's been doing a great job. That is actually a dentist that came out with that formula, and it's nice to have a dentist behind it. And that's a good formula. They've just recently gone to nano. They held off on nano. Boca was the one that brought nano to the market and allowed America to try nano hydroxyapatite. So I have to give James, the founder of that company, a lot of credit. And he just looked at the data. His parents owned a dental supply company, so he was kind of in the industry, but no dental background other than that. And he looked at all the data that was available at the time. This was about 8 years ago. And then he saw that NASA had developed nano hydroxyapatite for zero-G life and bone density issues and all that. And then he saw that, and this is all on the web, you can look this up, that a Japanese company 50 years ago bought the license to use it and put it in their toothpaste. And they've been using it ever since with great success. The Europeans have been using it recently, and now America has it via these boutique brands. Do you see it in Crest and Colgate and Sensodyne and all the big brands? No. Will you ever see it? You will. They probably will buy these small boutique brands, but only when there's a big enough market for it. So trust me, they are watching everything I'm saying and other dentists and influencers are saying, and they're looking at the market. I've had conversations with PhDs at Colgate, very frustrating circular argument discussions, and they're sticking with their formula because it makes them a lot of money. I mean, a lot of money. It's easy money. It costs Colgate 30, 40 cents to put a box on the shelves at Target. And what does it sell for? $5, $6? But then all the damage it does, it's almost like the food industry. They don't care. They provide something that makes you sick. So Boca, again, great brand. Risewell, great, but they do use emulsifiers and surfactants. Some feedback on Boca, people complain about irritation. I've had that from day one. Risewell taste, not my favorite, but it's a great brand, and they just added nano. Great for kids. Kids love Risewell. So your kid from day one should be using Risewell toothpaste, for example. I mean, not Crest or Colgate. And then good news is that everything I've been saying about toothpaste, I've incorporated along with my business partner, Dr. Stacy. She's a pediatric IMF certified dentist in Portland. And then my daughter, the three of us, have put together a toothpaste called FYGG, FYGG, Feed Your Good Guys. And it is an oral microbiome friendly toothpaste without emulsifiers and surfactants, with a prebiotic and nano and micro in it. So everything you've been hearing me talk about is in this toothpaste. So I'm very excited. There are choices coming. And are any of these boutique brands going to take down Colgate and Crest? No. We are providing we're giving the consumer a choice, an educated consumer a choice for a better destiny in oral health and even systemic health. And these mouthwash companies that are pushing Listerine, and I mean, it's really, I'm surprised they're not being sued. In fact, I think there will be lawsuits. There will be lawsuits. I hear this all the time of dental practitioners, mentioning this to their patient, taking them off of mouthwash, and 6 to 12 days later, seeing a drop in blood pressure, and sometimes getting off the high blood pressure medication. These are in borderline cases, but this is a crime. This should not be happening. This should be brought to the forefront. These studies that are in place are already 15, 20 years old. We keep seeing them pop up. We understand now nitric oxide, the NO synthase pathway, and how the oral microbiome is a big part of that. And how, as you get older, that's really the only way you can produce this endogenous prebiotic and vasodilator in the body. And we're knocking it down by swishing with this crappy product that has other problems as well, twice a day in it, and it has no benefit. In fact, it's slowly killing you. So my recommendations are always I mean, these are usually small brands because they understand. Now, not all small brands are safe. A lot of them load it up. They don't have nanohydroxyapatite. They stay away from that. They listen to all the hype. There's no scientific discussion or examination of the studies. They put in EOs. They put in other things, botanicals, and they think they've got a great product. They're really just making a fancy, fluffy face cream for inside the mouth.
Well, congrats to you guys on the new toothpaste. Did you say a month that'll be available to the public?
End of the month.
End of the
Yeah, we're
month.
going live I mean, probably by the time you air this, it'll be available. It'll be fygg.com, FYGG.com. I'm very excited. I know my followers will be. They've been chomping at the bit to get something that Dr. Burhenne or Dr. Stacy, I mean, we both are on the same page on this, something that we can unequivocally say, oh God, this is what I'm using at home. So yeah, I'm excited.
That's awesome. And will that be available in US, Canada? How far will you guys ship?
Yes. So we are working hard on getting availability in Canada. Canada has some strict tariff rules, and shipping is expensive up there. What we've been told, we ship out of Salt Lake City, out of Utah. We are going to enter the EU market. We're going to enter certainly Mexico and Canada officially at some point, because we do. I mean, again, we're in touch with a huge audience that knows about toothpaste and knows what they want. A lot of these boutique brands don't have that feedback and that connection. And so we are trying our best, because we get a lot of people going, these are moms with kids. They needed Boca, they needed Risewell, and it was hard for them to get, or it was very expensive to get up there. So as far as I know, and don't hold me to this, but anyone can reach out to me on Instagram as these things change. I'm happy to get back to you. Our fulfillment center will ship to Canada. I just don't know what shipping will be. We do have the USPS option for shipping, United States Postal Service, which is the cheapest, like third class mail. Maybe it takes 4 weeks, but it could be very inexpensive. And we're not going to charge you anymore because you're in Canada. So I hope it is available right off the bat. But if you see the website and you're excited and you want to buy some, reach out to me. We'll see what we can do. We're working on that. I spent a lot of time in Canada. I've got friends in Canada. I went to UBC in Vancouver, University of British Columbia. It's you definitely need this stuff.
Okay. Well, for people out there who say it's before they have access to what you created here, what toothpaste are you using? Because it sounds like until this, what you're clearly saying here is the fact that there isn't a perfect toothpaste on the market.
Yes.
We've come a long way.
You're right.
You said 8 years since the hydroxyapatite, but there just isn't a perfect one out there. So what are you using until this?
That's a great question. Well, the immediate answer, of course, is I'm using my own toothpaste.
Until this, yeah.
Right. And that's been now for the last 2 years, because I've been testing it. And, testing means in my mouth, in my family's mouth, in other people's mouths, checking to see what it does when it sprinkles on the sink, and does it stain clothing? Does it make a mess on the mirror? What's the consistency like after 3 months? All of those things. But again, Boca and Risewell. Those are the recommendations that I had made. Very proud that we stood behind them and helped them start. I still, if you can't get our toothpaste, I would still recommend them, because they are way better than what's available on the the big corporate choices that you see in Safeway and CVS and Target and all that. So although I think Boca and Risewell may be available in Target. So it's happening. It's changing. I mean, the options are more available. Yes, they are more expensive, but I would argue that in the long run, it's less expensive. Your dental bills will be much less, and you'll be happier. So I liked Boca more than I did Risewell, but my grandchildren used Risewell because they liked the flavors. I really liked the flavoring that James did in the beginning, very unique flavors. And I do not like an overpowering, burning mint spearmint. I mean, I guess I'm sensitive to that. I mean, we have a mild mint flavor. It's just a hint of mint. It tastes like food. It's I live here in wine country in Napa Valley, and everyone's talking about the nuances of the vegetables and the sauce on your plate and how it goes well with wine, and there are flavor wheels that are available underneath your placemat. I mean, just the nuances and the complexity of things, and that should be available in toothpaste. I really do. I really do think that, because this is something you do twice a day. I actually look forward to using toothpaste. That's important. I look forward to using floss after I started using the Slate flosser. To make a habit stick, it has to be enjoyable, right? So the big toothpaste companies, how can that be palatable? I don't get it. It burns. It makes you wrinkle up your face. You want to spit it out. You want to rinse out right afterwards. Again, you don't want to rinse with a hydroxyapatite toothpaste. You can spit out. I actually swish a little bit. I think toothpaste should be less thick than what we typically get. Again, it's reverse engineered saliva. It should be very viscous. By the time you've done brushing for 2 minutes, it should be very viscous. I walk around the room and I swish with it. And then I spit it out, but I do not rinse with water. As I said, at night, I put in my appliance because I want that hydroxyapatite in place as long as possible. With fluoride, you shouldn't be using fluoridated toothpaste, but if you are, spit it out right away. Rinse out your mouth to get rid of that stuff. I mean, anyway, it's the toothpaste market is changing, and I'm very, very excited to be part of it on many different ends, supporting other brands and getting the word out that we need to do this 180-degree turn. It's time.
If you enjoyed that clip, press here for the full episode. I'll see you over there.
Most acidic drinks like kombucha and a lot of mineral waters, Perrier, for example, they're pretty low. Coffee, wine, iced tea, my favorite, those start off at a low pH. And if you're drinking a lot of that,